Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining the family, this is Life with Leva. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Do not forget to like, share and comment on this video. So in today's video, I will be doing a little story time of a current situation that just changed my life for a couple of months, and it's gonna be long, so I suggest you get some tea, get some juice, get some popcorn. But yeah, so in this video I'll be talking about how I injured myself. Something so small turned into something so big, if that makes sense. Forgive me, I'll be using a lot of hand gestures, and because I just don't know how to talk without my hands, so that's just like a little bad habit. But yeah, so don't mind my background. I was just doing a wig review, so everything is everywhere, but I decided to like sneak in a little video explaining everything that went down. Okay, so 31st of October, that was Halloween day. I was cleaning and just getting the place in order before I went back to work the next day. And yeah, like it was just like a normal day. I talked to my mom right before. I was chatting with my fiance. I talked to my sisters in the morning. Like the day was just going by so smooth. I do not celebrate Halloween. I do not do costumes. I do not do any of those things. So that day I wasn't even outside. I was in the house just trying to do a little bit of cleaning. So when I was packing some stuff, I dropped a big knife on my foot. And I'll be showing you like I'll show you a little image right here of how it looked when I dropped it. When I dropped it, it wasn't like a big fall. It was like it fell, but the impact wasn't supposed to be like that. So I was bleeding, and I texted my fiance, like let him know what was going on, but he was like 40 minutes from where I was at that point. And I got like a Christmas hat that I had like on the ground, and I tied my leg and tried to go downstairs, but I was bleeding so much. And I knocked on my neighbor's door because I did not want to call any ambulance, because you know how much those things cost. Like America is just a scam. So I went downstairs, and luckily my neighbors like helped me. They gave me like slippers, they gave me a cord, and they drove me to like the emergency room. When I got to the emergency room, I was like, I had felt my toe like collapse, if that makes sense. Like I got there with like my legs still bleeding, so they had to like get my name, they had to get everything, then I had to go see someone. When I got to the room, I told them to say I couldn't feel my toe. My toe was numb. And they were like, okay, we'll wrap this up and then send you to the back. So this is the picture right here that I took when I saw the first person that wrapped my toe. And they were like, they'll do extra stuff. So I went to the back. Wait, don't mind that light. It's coming from the window. Ugh, I hate that. But yeah, so I went to the back with like, they had wrapped my leg and everything was looking okay. Like the bleeding had stopped. I sat in there. They got extra information. They gave me like a wristband. I called my mom and I did explain to her what had happened, and she was so surprised because 30 minutes ago we were just talking and laughing and everything, and then next thing I'm in the emergency room. I sat on the bed, and the first doctor came in. It was like a black doctor. He came in and he asked me like what happened. I did explain to him what happened, and he told me that he's gonna do like an x-ray. Then I told him to say I can't feel my toe. Like I explained to him exactly what I had told the first person that saw me, and he was like, yeah, this cut is minor and nothing is like, it's not that deep, so they'll just give me stitches. So they did their x-ray, they gave me the stitches, and you could see like the doctor right here trying to like give me the stitches. They gave me like 6 stitches. It was like something small, and I couldn't still move my toe. I couldn't feel my toe. And the doctor comes in. Mind you, this is an emergency room that helps, like, you know, has student doctors in there. Like, so the person that gave me stitches was the student doctor, and the actual doctor told me that I could go back to work the next day. I told him to say, like, I won't be in pain or anything. I'll be able to put on my shoes because it's fresh and they just stitched me. He's like, yeah, it didn't take long, but I can give you like 5 days for you to get, like, you know, for you to be comfortable enough to go to work. So he wrote me a little note for work and said I could go back to work in 5 days, and I had to go back to my primary doctor for them to remove my stitches. I came back home, and this is the mess that I found. Like, it was a whole trail of blood. Like, I'll show you like the pictures right here. So that's what I found. So we sat down. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. So we sat down, and I'm like, I told my fiance, because he was the one that's helping me, because I'm in Chicago. My mom is in Seattle, my dad is in New York, my sister is in New York, my other sister is in Connecticut. So he was the one that was doing everything. So yeah, I told him to say, I told them, this is what I explained to the doctors, and you know, they said no, the toe is just gonna come back to Mark and even go to work. He's like, okay. So day 4 of, I think that was day 3, or the next day, day 3, day 4, my toe still couldn't move, and my toe at that point was facing downwards. You're supposed to be straight, but it was facing downwards like that. This is how my foot was looking, and I'm like, this isn't right. And I told my fiance again, I told him to say, look, my toe is not moving, and he kept telling him to say, yeah, and it's swollen, like, this is swollen. When you go to your primary doctor, you should let him know that this is what they told you, and just so we know what's wrong. So the 7th day came, and I went to my primary doctor, and he took out the stitches, and I explained to him to say, my toe, I couldn't wear shoes. I went to the doctor with like no shoes. I couldn't wear shoes on my right foot, and I couldn't like do anything that was like really serious. So once he took out like the stitches, he took out those stitches, and I'm like, okay. I explained to him, like, my toe is not moving. I don't know what's wrong. And then he's like, okay, I'll refer you to a podiatry doctor. That way he can get it checked. But, you know, like, so, because I wouldn't know what's wrong, and if it's something serious, that way he can know. So he gave me like an extension for work, and mind you, that was the 31st. I saw him on the 7th. Yeah, on the 7th. Then I called in for the podiatry doctor. The only appointment I could get was for November 16th. Yeah, November 16th. So during that period, I was able to walk in the house, but once it's time for me to leave, I couldn't like wear shoes. So I could just like walk in the house barefoot, but my toe, when you sit, you can tell like it's like bending. And yeah, I was actually even planning, my sisters and I were planning my dad's birthday, and all that was in the mix. So on the 16th came, I went to the podiatry doctor, and he told me to say, yeah, like, they should have caught this at the emergency room. You cut your tendon when the knife fell on your foot. I told him to say, I did explain to them and let them know that this is what's happening, and they just like, you know, scratched, like, you know, just, and they just like disregarded whatever I said. But this person is telling me I cut my tendon, and it's 16 days later. Like, this is 16 days later. This happened on the 31st. 16 days later, this is when I'm finding out like my tendon wasn't, like, I cut my flexor tendon. So he was like, he couldn't do anything unless I got an MRI. Mind you, doing all these processes here in the United States is so expensive. Just the ear itself, the bill was like almost $4,000. And I'm now being ordered to get an MRI. So now I had to get the MRI. I scheduled an appointment. I went to get the MRI on a Friday, so that's like maybe the 18th, somewhere there. This is what I wore, and this is like the shoes. Like, you see, like, I couldn't wear like closed shoes or anything at that point. I could just wear one normal shoe and one closed shoe. everything. And yeah, I got my MRI, and next thing they called me back at the excuse me, they called me at the MRI office and say they couldn't get, like, the images that they took were not like good, and they wanted me to like go back in. So I went back in, took the MRIs, and I called into the podiatry office. And at that point, it was going to be Thanksgiving, and my doctor that I was referred to had gone on vacation. So they extended my time to go to work, because I told people at work that I could not wear certain shoes, and they told me that I need to extend my FMLA leave till I know what's going on with me. So I extended that. So I wasn't working from the 31st, and this is almost Thanksgiving. No pay, nothing. So yeah, I decided to like plan my trip, and I went ahead and, you know, I said, let me go celebrate my dad's birthday. So my dad's birthday is on the 25th. So I left on the 24th, no, 23rd. I left on the 24th. And yeah, celebrating my dad's birthday. It was fun. Like, we even had like a little, you know, dancey. This is like, you know, right here, like my dad's birthday. Celebrated it. Was fun. But each time I walk on my leg, it was swelling. Now it started like swelling. Like, you could see that it's swelling so bad. These are like some of the images right here and right here that you could see, like, it's swelling and stuff. You can try to zoom in and see, but yeah, my leg was swelling so bad. So while I'm at my dad's, the doctor calls me and tells me, okay, it's what I suspected. You cut your flexor tendon and you have to come in for surgery. And the surgery was scheduled for the 31st, and I was offered to take anesthesia, but I said no, because it was so expensive. I wasn't about to do all that. I've already gone through so much, and I've already spent so much already. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna go do surgery. So I came back home on the 29th of November. I left on the 24th. I came back on the 29th. Yeah, came back on the 29th, and surgery was the next day. I think on the 30th. Yeah, 30th of November. So I was so scared that I started watching videos on YouTube, like, to see how the surgery would go. Trust me, never do that. Like, never watch something before you actually go experience it. Then I went in, and this is the place I went to, and yeah, they gave me like whatever, like an outfit to change in, and this is how I looked. And the doctor came in, I signed some papers for the surgery. They gave me my crutches, they gave me my boot, and I was good, ready to go in for surgery. So I was awake the whole time during surgery, and that was like the most terrifying thing I ever had to do, because I know there are terrifying things like in this world, but for me that was like one of the terrifying things I had to do, like just having to see myself in that position and being cut open and having to be, you know, worked on. Yeah, so having to be worked on. So that was like the most terrifying thing for me at that point. And the surgery took like an hour, and once it was done, I was told that I would heal in like 6 weeks, and that was something else too. Like, I've been home already like a month, almost a month, and I have to be home another month plus. That's gonna be 2 months. No work, no nothing at all. So I went to the room. They, like, you know, this is how I came out from surgery. Like, they gave me, like, they put a bandage around my leg, my foot, sorry, I always do this, yeah, around my foot, and they just wrapped it up so good. And they told me I couldn't put any pressure on it. I couldn't step, I couldn't put water, I couldn't yeah, all that stuff. So imagine not having to put pressure, not having to shower, and just not having to make it wet. So showering just became so hard. But yeah, so after the whole surgery thing went, they released me, and my mother-in-law picked me up, which was something so nice. I appreciate that to today, because my fiance had work and he couldn't take off work. So yeah, she picked me up and brought me, and I had to, like, you know, elevate my legs. So I couldn't walk I had to use crutches, learn how to use crutches. Like my apartment, you have to like get up the stairs, and just going up the stairs was so hard because it's the first time that I'm having a boot on and I'm using the crutches. So I use crutches and the boot, and now reality hit, like this is gonna be my life for a couple of weeks. And to be honest, that really hurt me, because I'm like, I've never gone through something like that, like something that was this small and can just go around and just, you know, turn around and just become something big. I didn't expect it to get to that point where I was like that. So yeah, my fiance really did encourage me, and I prayed about it, to be honest, because it's not something that's easy, going from just having to move and doing whatever you want in the house to just being stuck and sitting on the bed. That was like the worst part. So taking a shower was hard, and doing anything was hard. My fiance had to work, come back home, make food, help me sometimes go to like the bath, like certain things. Like it was just so hard, but he was there like from the get-go, like literally. But yeah, so back to the story. I was home for a week, and I had to go back to like for my weekly visit. That way they can take out the bandage they put on my foot, like the way they wrapped it. This was the first time I saw my wound, and this is how it looked. He did a very good job, like with the stitching, because you could hardly tell, like, you know, I thought it was gonna be very bad, but it's still bad because it hurts, but it wasn't like, you know, but this is how it looked. And the good part is I've been using this little bike right here that helps me like move around, so it's gotten a little bit easy to like get around. But yeah, so I've been going there a week after, like, you know, every other week, and just for him to like give me updates. But as of the last visit that I had was, if you're seeing this video, you probably see it like maybe on the 3rd of January. So the last video was right before New Year's. That was a Wednesday before New Year's. And he told me that after 4 weeks, I could now finally start like putting 15 minutes, like, you know, pressure on it, like with my boot on though, with this boot, every like in the house, like moving around for 15 minutes, and then that's it. Because I couldn't exceed that, because the tendon that he put in my foot was an artificial one. So each time that I do that, still my foot swells, but at least it's a way to recovery. Like my recovery thing has been good. And I have a couple of months left. I just found out that I have a couple of months left for me to actually go back to work and be able to work. But yeah, that's like my story and how everything occurred. I just want to tell everyone that if you are sick or if you're going through something, you should speak out. Like, you know, sometimes doctors, I know that they're qualified to do certain things, but speak out and let them know how you truly feel and how everything, like, you know, how you're feeling, because no one knows your body better than you do. So let them know, because for me, they brushed me off, and that would have been solved that day. I wouldn't have gone this far into the new year with like my foot not being able to walk and stuff like that, and not being able to work. It's something bad. If I didn't have God, my sisters, my mother, my dad, and my fiance who have been holding me down, I wouldn't have made it, because it was so hard. But God has been so faithful. Like, he gave me the most supportive people in my life. Like, my fiance is someone that I appreciate, and I'm even getting emotional. But yeah, it's something that I really appreciate. And my sisters who are constantly on calls with me, it's hard, you know, it's heartwarming that they're always on the phone trying to entertain me, because I've watched everything and I've done so much, like, but you can only do so much on the bed. And my mom, who's always checking in, my dad too, and the friends that I have that have actually visited me, and they've encouraged me, and they've seen how I'm looking. Like, it's been a lot, going from not being able to walk, not going from being able to walk and do whatever you're doing every day, to being, you know, limited, like having limited moves and not doing anything. That's just hard. But just always, you know, believe. But that's my little story time. Oh, by the way, before I forget, this is how my leg is looking right now. This is how you know that I don't put any pressure on it. It's so small, it's become so slim and so crusty, but I'm gonna get through it. That's just something. So just a word of encouragement. Yeah, just keep pushing. Don't let anything that you're going through limit you. Do you, be happy, and keep living. But yeah, that's my little story time, and this is what has been going on in my life as of now to, you know, the then. But I thank God for my life, and I thank God for the new year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. May you take care of your loved ones. May you tell the people that you love them, and always be present in their lives. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, everything. I love you so much, and thank you for following Life with Leva. Till next time. Bye.